All right, writers, we're going to continue with this idea of dialogue. Dialogue is just so important, and there's specific ways that we use dialogue as far as how we write it in our writing. So I have some anchor charts here for you that can help us. We're going to start here with the rules of using quotes, because you have to use quotes. Quotes are what show that your character is talking. So for every new speaker, you're going to begin a new line, meaning you'll type out such as, "I can't believe I won," said Anna. And then you're going to push enter and tab so that it looks like a new paragraph. "I know, what a shock," replied Seba. And so each one of these people have to be on their own line, and it has to look like it's a paragraph with them talking. If you put Seba up here, we would still think that Anna was talking, and we don't want to confuse our readers. So every speaker gets a new line. Another thing you're going to notice with it is commas and periods go inside the quotation marks, okay? So if you can see here, you have the quotation, "waking up early, comma," and then you notice you have the quotation mark to show that that's the end of what's being said, and then you're going to put such as, "said Evan," and then you have a comma, "is not cool." So as you notice, the period here at the end of what he's saying, which is "not cool," goes inside your quotation marks. A third rule that's really important when we're writing quotations is use commas to separate dialogue and the speaker. So, for instance, if we had "let's go to the mall," comma, and then we put a quotation, then we put, this is called the tag. So the tag is the person who's saying it and how they're saying it. Now, if this was the end of the sentence, you'll notice that it goes period right here. Except, of course, because we are the English language, we have lots of exceptions, except when we're using an exclamation point or a question mark. That would go inside the quotation marks. All right, let's move on to the next rule. Capitalize the first letter of spoken dialogue. It's just like starting a new sentence. So if you'll notice, it says Ethan said, comma, then we have our quotation. So after the tag, we use a comma. If it's the person talking first, it's comma, then the quotations. Then we put a capital letter like it's a new sentence. My view is fabulous! Exclamation point with the quotations on the end. Now, don't forget to indent those new lines when two different speakers are speaking in dialogue in your writing. And you can do that. There's a button called tab, and it will tab something over and give you that indentation so it looks like it's a new paragraph. So those are the rules for using quotes when we're having our characters talk. Another area to look at is quotation marks again, but there are 3 different forms you can use. You can have the tag at the end. Now remember, the tag is the person who's talking and how they're talking. So quotation marks can be tricky. And if you notice, there's that comma, quotation mark, remarked Ben, period. So Ben thinks that they can be tricky. Then there's form B. You may have the tag at the beginning where the person is the tag and how they're speaking. So Ben commented, quotation marks can be tricky. So we could do it different ways. Now, if Ben, the tag is at the beginning, then your punctuation will go at the end inside those quotations. But if your quote of your person talking comes first, then the tag, then you'll use a comma right here, and you will then use the period or exclamation point there. Tag C is in the middle, so you have quotation marks can be tricky, comma, Ben stated, there's your tag, but, and then there's a comma, but I think I have them figured out. So take a look at these writers, and it's going to take some getting used to, but you will be very good at this by the end of our story writing.